After achieving Super Saiyan 5 as well as complete mastery over Primal Instinct, Vegeta is pretty much on the same tier as people like Zalama, truly the pinnacle of what a Saiyan can achieve. But there may still be another level out there. Can our Saiyans get much higher? Can we get much higher? Well, in the previous part of What If Goku and Vegeta Wished Their Tails Back, we saw a glimpse of the future. Zycor and Kale's Saiyan baby, Caries, is there. Something bizarre happened that triggered the end of the multiverse as we know it, and Caries is now left all alone. For the sake of context of all of this, Vegeta used his mastery over Primal Instinct to redirect the first God of Destruction's imperfect Primal Instinct to Caries on the night he was born. Not to mention, Caries is Zycor and Kale's son. Really not a normal Saiyan baby in the slightest, but for things to go this wrong, just what the hell happened? Definitely be sure you guys go check out the previous parts of this What If you haven't already. We've already flown through most of the story. We're like 20 parts in right now, and now it's time for the aftermath of what happened in the future. Vegeta wants Goku to master Primal Instinct as well so that he can finally have a rematch, but Goku isn't really in a hurry for some reason. He wants to take his time figuring out what can be considered the most broken power-up in multiversal history. Keep it in mind that Primal Instinct was illegal for a long time. Zycor spent 1,000 years in non-existence just because he went a little too wild with his immature Primal Instinct, but now that the Grand Priest has seen the completed form of this technique, thanks to Vegeta, it's a little bit more laid back. The multiverse is on the verge of evolution, or so the Grand Priest believes. Then there was Frieza. He was enslaved by Beerus after his rematch against Vegeta around 9 months ago and getting one-shot by him with Primal Instinct. Vegeta has recently freed Frieza from his mental slavery though, so now Frieza is out and about around the universe again. Unfortunately, it's near impossible for him to reach the same level as Vegeta, and this is exactly what's hindering Frieza from making progress. He's experienced Vegeta's strength firsthand. His own body and soul knows that it's impossible to win against him. Frieza may consciously try to evade those fearful instincts, but he can't get rid of them, and because he can't do that, he's unable to make the same kind of exponential progress as he used to. Yeah, he's been freed from his mental shackles, but from now on, his dynamic with Vegeta is always going to be that of a king and a slave, for lack of better words. Goku soon leaves on a journey across the multiverse as well to figure out Primal Instinct himself. Vegeta stays behind on Earth as it's about time he starts spending some time with his family, especially since Trunks wants his dad to train him. Now, during Goku's adventures in other universes, he meets all kinds of warriors. None are strong enough to be an actual challenge, not even Jiren in case you were wondering, but he still somehow ends up having a good experience every once in a while. And every time Goku uses his imperfect Primal Instinct, he starts developing a conscious feel for it. If there's one advantage he has, then it's the fact that he's already seen Vegeta do it, so now all he has to do is get to the same level, and we already know that Goku really only has to watch somebody do a technique to kind of more or less learn it himself. When Goku started this journey, he moved from the 7th universe to the 8th, and then the 9th, and so on and so forth. He keeps moving forward until finally he completes a full circle by reaching Universe 6. Of course, he makes sure to pay a visit to planet Sadala along the way, where Caries is now 1 year old. Yeah, Goku has been traveling around the multiverse for an entire year at this point. He's quick to sense a sinister aura oozing off of Caries though, so he asks Zycor and Kale about it, but they aren't too sure what he's talking about, so this leads Goku to believe that maybe he's the only one that can sense this. This means he's getting closer and closer to actually achieving mastery over Primal Instinct, and it also means that if left to go on a rampage, Caries could do some serious damage. If there was some sinister aura oozing off of him, then that means he's been unable to consciously control the Primal Instinct. I mean, well, there's not really much you can expect from a 1-year-old, but remember, this 1-year-old has Primal Instinct of a destroyer who spent an insane amount of time in exile because of this ability. Upon sensing this, Goku uses instant transmission to go and get Vegeta just to make sure there's nothing weird going on here, but there definitely is. Whenever someone normal holds Caries, he makes regular baby sounds, but whenever Vegeta tries to hold him, the child stays completely silent. I'm not too sure about this, Vegeta. Why did you put such a heavy burden on my child? You could have just redirected it to me or even Goku, Zycor asks. Relax. From what I see, I can tell Caries is going to be just fine. That strange aura that he's oozing off is a result of his body trying to adjust to the primal power. Soon, he'll become a person who isn't bound to anything, a being that surpasses even myself. A truly free individual, Vegeta declares. Psycho and Kale are still kinda upset with him, but there's not really much they can do at this point. Vegeta sticks around on planet Sadala for a little while Goku continues his travels, where he would eventually reach planet Mors, Hit's homeland, as well as the origin of the first destroyer Thanatos. During the conclusion of their battle a few chapters ago, Vegeta didn't kill Thanatos, he was still alive, but Goku hasn't come here for advice or mentorship or anything like that. What he's come here for is a friendly sparring match between him and Thanatos, the first god of destruction. Unfortunately for Goku, Thanatos has better things to do, so he says no. He's fully retired since his fight with Vegeta, but he also wants that fight with Vegeta to be his last fight ever. Goku tries pestering him into it, but of course, just considering his age and everything like that, Thanatos is not going to be that easy to persuade. So after getting rejected and obviously his persuasion not working, Goku just has to give up. But right when he was about to leave planet Mors, Hit shows up. Goku just grins. He starts to approach Hit and asks for a rematch, but he can tell that Goku got stronger, just like how Vegeta did when he fought him last year. Hit had been away from home for the past few months, and he definitely doesn't want Goku ruining his peace. Ironically, the fastest way would have been for him to just fight Goku, and so with that, what happens next is a rematch between Goku and Hit. Don't write this off as an easy battle though, because Hit had learned from his fight against Vegeta, and he was much stronger now, and so this obviously wasn't going to be a cakewalk for Goku. However, Goku's inhuman adaptability thanks to all of the fighters he's fought across the 12 universes, he's easily able to counter all of Hit's deadliest one-hit assassination attacks. Even if he doesn't have access to Super Saiyan 5 or mastery over Primal Instinct like Vegeta, Goku's Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker seems to be getting the job done. The one who gets tired first is Hit, not Goku. Goku ends up excusing himself in the middle of the fight because he can see that he wasn't being a good sport for Hit. So for the time being, he returns back to planet Sadala. Yo Vegeta, I just had a rematch with Hit, Goku says. Must have been completely unproductive because you're still the same as before, Vegeta replies, hinting at how Goku still hasn't mastered Primal Instinct or transformed into a Super Saiyan 5. Aw, come on, you know it's eventually gonna happen, right? What's the rush, Goku asks. Vegeta thinks about how if anything goes wrong, he'd need Goku to revert the situation back to normal again, but then again, it's not like he can actually say this out loud. Meanwhile, back in a certain future timeline, while Goku and Vegeta are chilling with baby Carries in the present, Carries is looking at them from the future. He can't ignore the strong sensations that this is the point in history where things go all wrong. Something is gonna happen in the next few months that eventually result in him erasing the multiverse. Carries wants to come to this point, but he can't find a route that takes him to the past. So not only is he alone in infinite nothingness, he also can't find a way to return to the past, so he's just kinda sitting here like when Zeno erased the future timeline. Still, Carries continues observing. Last time he remembered Vegeta, this time he remembers Goku as well. He doesn't remember him as Goku though. He remembers him as the Super Saiyan 5. Chills run down his spine the moment he recalls this. Then there was the Grand Priest. His Omni precognition stopped working when Vegeta became Super Saiyan 5, but now Carries is peeking at his memories from the future. There was enough of a link between the present and the future for the Grand Priest to use his own foresight. It is his job to make sure everything is going well in the multiverse, so when he looks into the future and finds out how everything has ceased to exist, you can probably imagine the shocked expression on the Grand Priest's face. An ominous future. I knew it. There shouldn't be exceptions for Primal Instinct. The Saiyans must be taken care of right now or else it'll be too late, the Grand Priest declares. He goes to consult Zalama on the matter and then prepares to leave. Though thanks to his Omni precognition, a path has opened up between the present and the future. Carries can now use this path to come to the present, so he tries but fails again. The path is there, but it's a one-way trip. Someone like Vegeta can come to the future through this path, but until Vegeta or perhaps Goku transform into Super Saiyan 5, there won't be a source for Carries to reach for. He'll continue to drift into more and more emptiness while spending time with the only form of entertainment he has, which is watching his own memories. Goku and Vegeta take Carries outside back in the present. They throw him up high in the air, but rather than falling down, this kid just started flying and immediately flies towards the moon. No sense of danger whatsoever. When Goku flies to stop him, Goku notices that for some reason, he simply can't get closer to the kid. The distance between them remains the same no matter how fast he flies. Primal Instinct already, Vegeta says. He couldn't contain his excitement. But even Vegeta had to pause and bring the baby back down from the skies when he saw a vision of the future. He sees the same thing we all saw. Vegeta sees the 16-year-old Carries just floating around in the infinite emptiness left behind by the death of the multiverse. Yo, Kakarot, I've got some bad news, Vegeta says, but before he could finish his sentence, the Grand Priest and Zalama show up. Indeed, the worst is yet to come. I'm afraid I can't allow you Saiyans any more autonomy, the Grand Priest declares. Now, Carries is rewatching his memories, but all he sees are memories of him playing around with Goku and Vegeta and Zycor watching them. However, things were a little different this time. The Grand Priest doesn't appear in his memories, but he's here and he plans on extinguishing Primal Instinct for good. Vegeta understands the Grand Priest's position, but he is way too prideful to just talk things out after what the Grand Priest just said. So now, as hopeless as it may seem, there's no other way around it. Vegeta has now found himself in a battle against the Grand Priest, but he takes that leap of faith, and before we know it, Vegeta has transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan 5 again. And just like that, one of those paths that we mentioned earlier emerges for Carries to come to the present day. Unaware of the fact that the Grand Priest is on Sadala, Carries takes the path and pulls up to the scene. Now, neither Vegeta nor Goku, not even the Grand Priest, could have imagined what's about to happen next. The moment Carries steps into the present, the multiverse around them begins glitching. Just like how the multiverse got erased in the future, the same thing was about to happen in the present. The question is, will Vegeta or even the Grand Priest be able to stop the destruction of the multiverse in time? Or will it open up another wormhole of alternate timelines and universes? But maybe the most important question that I'm sure all of you guys have at this point in the story, what happened to future Goku and Vegeta?